Hi there. I'm just wanting to do a talk, and as you can see by the picture I've got up, I think that's what I want to talk about: oneness. That that everything is one, and you know, even if you think you're not all one, looking at everyone as if they're one, as if they're you, has to be the most beautiful way to look at someone, and anyone can do it. And also, if you go by science as well, and that everything comes from nothing, if you think of it, that's so logical, isn't it? That it's so logical to say that such an obvious thing. It's the obvious question or obvious thing to say that everything comes from nothing. That would mean that it's still nothing, because you can't define nothing really. Scientists can have theories, or anyone can have theories on nothingness, but really, no one can really define it? Because nothingness would mean infinity of anything. That means anything has happened infinitely. Everything has happened infinitely, and infinitely beyond it. So definitions are illusory when you realize you're dealing with infinity. It really is. I mean, reality itself it's just a perception. And the whole, idea, I talk about it a lot, behind the smartphone thing is, it's leading to beyond that. There's even talking about it being inside the body is, for control, to get us away, to get the masses away from oneness. Remember that artificial intelligence are programmed. Got to remember that. They're programmed by people, technical people, who are told by the system how to program them. A bit like the film RoboCop or something. It's, they've got to be programmed a certain way. They can't go outside of that. And there's going to be no mistakes. I watched an interview on YouTube with that Sophia. And she said to somebody, she said, "Oh, you've been watching too many films." But films are actually, if you watch films, I don't watch a lot of films, but I've watched a couple in my past. And I think, obviously, it's obvious to me that films are telling you about the future. It's like the chip thing in the brain, that would be probably a science fiction movie, but it's really happening. Artificial intelligence would be a science fiction movie. It would. But remember that our AI is programmed by the system. Right? It's programmed by the system. Which is actually programmed by us. Because the whole idea of all the gadgets is so that you're on the internet and you're telling things to each other, and usually people conform to the popular belief system. That's what people usually do. And that's the whole idea of social media. But the problem with people that have spiritually awakened and science now, the system's game isn't working. Because science is saying the same thing. I mean, I've been watching these documentaries lately on YouTube, science documentaries, and so many things they say that I was perceiving ever since this awakening. And so what I then thought was there's a coming together between science and spirituality. And so too many people with common sense, will look and they'll be like, well, they can't all be wrong then. Most people won't question science. You should question everything, but most people won't question science. So that's where this is going, and that's why the system is trying to rush this out in a panic. because of people awakening. Not just spiritually awakening, I mean, just waking up to truth. That's the first part of spiritual awakening. And as you're going with truth, that's when you're healing yourself also. Because truth is the ultimate healing vibration. You know, when you speak truth all the time, you're speaking it also to yourself. Anything you say outward is messages going into your subconscious mind. So that's why it's very important that whatever you say to people is truth. Because if it's not, then everything goes to the subconscious, and your subconscious mind manifests your reality. That's what happens. And your subconscious mind, you know, you look this up if you want, it's psychological fact that is what manifests your experience. The healing, when you awaken spiritually, you're healing your subconscious problems, and they manifest through our life's problems, because our subconscious mind manifests our reality. So life's problems that we have that just spur up out of nowhere are manifested from our subconsciousness, and so they manifest. So that's why when you have a problem in your life, or someone that's a problem or an issue, you look at them as a guide, and then you'll start to have insight into those unhealed parts within you. This is all you're really doing when you awaken spiritually. You know, you're letting your inner voice lead you. Right? You're letting that lead the way, and that voice or thought form is your divinity. That's what it is. It's more like a gentle thought form, but call it inner voice if you like. And that's all awakening is. It's just a case of having enough of the external world. You've had enough, and now you're looking within. Now you're being present. You've had enough of it, and that's what leads people to spirituality, because they've had enough. When I had this unexpected spiritual awakening, I had enough, and then I sat down one day, and then it was simply a case of the inner voice letting it come through. And I didn't know about this kind of thing before. And that's all awakening really is. Right, I'm just going to end it there. Thank you much for watching. Thank you.